gonna play the intro.
Welcome to Dysfunctional Adults, the comedy podcast in which we discuss weird news, pop culture, and being middle-aged dads. Yeah. We are bitter, cynical Gen Xers saddled with crippling debt and depressingly past our primes. But that's what makes this podcast so much fun.
Hello, hello.
Every time.
Every time it makes me giggle like a schoolgirl. I'm Jason.
I am John.
And I'm Zach.
And tonight we have with us a very special guest on this very special episode. It's episode 40.
It is episode 40.
We made it to 40 episodes.
Yeah.
I thought you would have got us canceled before we hit 10.
It was not for lack of trying.
That's true.
But our guest with us tonight is Holli Anderson. She is an author. She's a nurse. She is a badass, and also
she's pretty much Jason's conscience whenever he goes out in public with her.
Very, very true.
She's like the angel on his shoulder.
Are you the one that keeps him in line?
Yeah,
I try.
She does.
I try. Yeah.
Megan mainly, but Holly part-time. So, but yeah.
Megan pays me well.
Welcome, Holly. Welcome to Dysfunctional Adults. You, I would dare say, are not a dysfunctional adult, but
she's probably the most functional adult we've ever had on this show.
I could agree with that.
Yeah, probably.
Well, maybe.
So,
because I'm older than y'all.
No, you're not that much older than us. So, not really. But yeah. So, thanks for being on with us tonight. You've been one of our faithful fans. So, you kind of know how this goes, but let's just start off asking what everybody's been up to this week. And it is crickets.
All right. Well,
who wants to go first? I guess that's me. Okay, well, since no one else is saying anything, we went to the new Hale Center Theater and saw Treasure Island.
You have to say it, Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
In fact, all this, I want you to do it in a pirate's accent.
Yarr. No, there wasn't as much raping and pillaging as I would have hoped, but other than that, no, I was actually quite impressed.
So not historically accurate.
Well, I'm not sure if there's much of that in the book either, but the sets they used was super cool. Like, it's a round stage, and they actually had actual water all around it. So whenever someone got killed, they'd, roll the body off into the ocean and just let them splash. And
sweet.
I assume the actors would swim underneath something to safety, or maybe they signed a contract that they were taking one for the team and let themselves drown. I don't know.
That's why there's a continual casting call for that.
Like The Prestige, if you've seen that.
Yeah, exactly. But no, they had rain, they had fire, they had some cool effects.
Oh wow.
Cool.
Yeah, sword fighting, guns, a lot of characters got killed. And yeah, lots of bodies dumped in the ocean. So, yeah, I was quite impressed with it.
Any bare-chested swashbuckling men?
Other than yourself, because I know that's how you dressed.
Somewhat, yeah.
Muscular bosom exposed?
Well,
I'm basing it on all those romance novel covers I've seen in the store.
It's not going to fulfill your fantasies, Jason.
I didn't say it was my fantasy.
You didn't have to say it, buddy.
But no, it was quite cool. I would highly recommend it. It is expensive. It's like $60 a ticket, so...
Oh, yeah, you got insurance on all those dead people.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're firing like real muskets if they miss. And, it's on the waiver on your ticket. If you get hit by an errant musket ball, you can't sue them. They'll just jump your body off the edge into the water as well.
Right on.
Just like the gypsy said I would die.
Yeah, the bottom of that stage is just packed with the bodies of audience members that...
They have like a real
out of the way
alligator in there to help clean
That's
up.
Peter Pan, but yeah.
Oh, well, whatever. There's pirates in that, too.
All pirate stories are the same,
That's
right?
what I think. So, Oh, sounds cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. That was a fun date night.
I went to a hockey game for the first time ever. And
was it like the Simpsons hockey game?
No. But the deal I had with Megan is I said I would go if she watched that episode of The Simpsons. And
competitive violence. That's why you're here.
I made her watch it that very night. She was not impressed. She does not like The Simpsons. So. But yeah, I was right. It is just ice soccer. So.
There wasn't even any fights, was there?
No fights. They just skated back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, my son loves hockey, and so I take my oldest to a hockey game once a year. And we have seen fights before. Yeah. It's not very often, though. They've tried to cut down on the violence of hockey, which, is the entire point of it for half the fans.
What's the point, then?
Yeah. We used to go when I was little all the time, and there was always fights.
Oh, yeah.
There were always fights.
They used to encourage it. Like every other sport, you get a 20-game suspension for fighting, but hockey, the refs just stand there and watch them.
You get bonuses.
Right. If there wasn't blood and teeth all over the ice, then it wasn't fun.
It's just not hockey. You just get 10 minutes in a penalty box for fighting in hockey. Oh. I wanted to see some remember Happy Gilmore? He said he was the only player who ever actually took off his skate and tried to kill someone with it during a hockey game. That's why if you remember, that's why he turned to golf, because he was banned from hockey.
Well, I didn't see any of that. Like I said, I was happy to be with my wife and her family. It was a lot of fun being with them, and I got a $6 Coke. You know what really pisses me off is it's the Maverick Center, right?
Yes.
Why are drinks not 99 cents like they are at Maverick?
Hey,
they're like $6, and that's not even a super extra large drink. It's just like a large.
Yeah.
And it just kind of frustrated me. So
I don't know if I've been to the Maverick Center since COVID hit, but do they have the QR codes to order stuff? Like the Vivint Smart Home Arena does.
I've not been to the Vivint Smart Home Arena.
It is maddening. I've bitched about QR codes before on menus and stuff, but this takes it to a whole nother level of frustration, because when you you want a hot dog or a drink or something, you have to do everything on your phone. You walk up to the person at the counter, you scan the code, you stand there right in front of them, ordering it on your phone, paying for it, and then they'll hand it to you. It's you could have just rung me up. It would have been so much quicker.
So I just walked up and said I wanted a Coke. She
just
took my debit card and gave me a Coke.
Okay, well, that's not how it is at Vivint Smart Home. You have to stand there in front of them while they're looking at you, punching everything into your phone.
That's asinine.
It takes so much longer, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Now, it would make sense if those QR codes were on the back of the seat and you order from your seat and they just bring it to you.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be cool. That's a good use of technology. Making people stand there on their phones and order something in front of a live person you could have just told the order to.
Yeah.
That is a regression in technology.
Pretty stupid. So
I hope that's just a COVID thing and it goes away soon, but I'm not so sure about that.
So my summary is family time together, 5 stars. Hockey on its own, no stars.
How many stars would have jumped up if one person just got hit in the mouth with a stick on purpose?
At least 3.
Yeah. If you'd caught a tooth as a souvenir.
I would have, yeah.
Couple stars just for that, right?
Yep. What about you, Zachariah?
I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022 sequel to the original.
Oh, didn't know such a thing existed.
You don't need to. Nobody needs to, ever. It's awful. I mean, just awful. They tried to play the whole thing like Halloween, like the Halloween series, with having what's-her-face come back. I can't remember her name right now.
From the originals.
They tried to do that, and it was nonsensical. It was stupid. Don't waste your time. I did it for you.
Very heroic.
Thank you.
How many stars?
0.
0 stars.
0 stars. There was nothing redeeming about that movie at all.
Yikes. What about you, Holly? I heard that you've been traveling.
Well, yeah, so that was the perfect segue into what I did this weekend. I went to Texas. I did not see any chainsaws.
I thought you were going to say, I massacred some people with a chainsaw, so that's perfect.
No, but there is a chainsaw story from my first date with my husband.
Oh yes. Oh, gotta hear that.
Yeah.
One.
So for our first date, he took me to, it was in October, and so we went to, it was a blind date. His sister set us up, and we went to a haunted house, obviously. As we're coming out of the haunted house, there's the chainsaw guy. You know, it's obligatory. You have to have a chainsaw guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And he pushed me in front of the chainsaw guy, like to save himself.
And you thought, there's the man for me.
You married him anyway.
Yeah, I married him anyway, and I still give him a hard time about it. And he's like, "Well, I wasn't sure at that point yet. I didn't know if you were."
Well, you married him for his,
the one
for his survival instincts. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So there is that.
So how's Texas?
Texas was cool. We'd never been to San Antonio before, and that's where we went. In San Antonio area, saw the Alamo. Pretty amazing. We're both kind of history buffs, so that was cool. We went to SeaWorld in San Antonio. Not as the SeaWorld down there is not as good as the others, the one in Orlando or the one in San Diego, but it was still cool.
Oh, it's because it's in Texas.
Nice.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Well, they don't really have a sea. The Gulf of Mexico doesn't count.
Well, it's not even close to the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, it's still several hours away
You
from
can't have the ocean, when you don't have an ocean.
Right.
All right.
It's like an aquarium.
They still have the orcas and everything. It was cool, but yeah. So that's what we did. We went to Texas, went on the Riverwalk, ate some really good food.
Nice.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's snowing now, and so that sounds really nice.
I bet it's not in San Antonio.
Yeah, probably not.
Yep. Well,
no. Oh, we went to a rodeo down there, and so this rodeo is like one of the bigger ones in the nation. It's like
legit.
I don't know, like a legit, almost 3 weeks long rodeo, and they have and it's like their stock show, their annual stock show, and they have like the carnival and stuff going on. So the one night we go to the rodeo. So the other nights they have cool singers like Tim McGraw and other country singers. Well, the night we go, they had Ludacris.
I can imagine Tim McGraw and Ludacris have a lot of crossover fan base, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So so we stayed for the rodeo and then we left before the Ludacris concert.
What if it's like Ludacris singing country though?
I'd have stayed.
No, that might have been worth it. That might have been worth it to see that, but no. But the rodeo was really good.
You can't get more Texas than a rodeo in Texas.
True.
So,
yeah.
It's true.
I think it's like.
Well, I kind of grew up in the whole rodeo scene. My dad was a bull rider, and we went to rodeos every weekend when I was younger. So it was nice. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It makes me wish I had a dad.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Holly. You just put him into a depression.
Well, he's like, my dad's a real cowboy. And I'm like, oh, I want a dad.
I'm sorry, Jason.
It's okay.
I forget.
I have the mailman. So, although he runs away from me when I call him Papa. So, so I want to take a little bit of time real quick, Holly, to have you tell us about your writing as an author. And you've got a new book coming out soon, right?
I do. Yeah, this is my first attempt at a crime novel. Most authors kind of stick with the same genre throughout their careers, but I can't do that. I like to write multiple different genres.
You're breaking away from dinosaur erotica then?
Yeah. Well, no, that's from
that's
my
still
pen
there.
name. Nobody's supposed to know about that.
That's what pays the bills.
Exactly.
But you keep your same name though, right? You don't have like pen names for different genres.
So no. So like for my young adult, middle grade books, I just go with Holli Anderson. But my adult books, which are not adult, they're adult just because of the ages. They're just because of the ages of the characters, not because they're not.
Oh.
but just to differentiate those, I just use my initials, H.L. Anderson. But
okay,
it's all together on my website and everything. So
So
the one coming out.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about that one.
Oh yeah, the one coming out in March is the crime thriller. Kind of started out as a joke.
I remember.
So I dreamed up this whole scenario in my mind on the way home from work one day, and instantly texted Jason this idea, and also told my husband, and they both said, "You cannot write that." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
Just watch me. So you did that as like a challenge?
Watch me write. Yeah, I did. And So I'm like, I have to write it now.
Don't tell me what I can write.
And so I did. But the main premise is a medical examiner who gets all of the strange accidental death cases come to him. And so that's kind of the main premise. And then he gets, in this book, he gets caught up trying to find a serial killer. And so it's a little bit gory, but also funny. And
what's it called?
It was really, really fun to write. It's called The Bar Killer. A Dr. Graves ME thriller, because I plan on making it a series.
Nice.
So,
Very cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And
so a lot of medical stuff.
do you want to tell everybody what the original idea was? Because, you know.
Do you want me to?
I do want
Yes,
you
we
to.
do.
Yep.
It does kind of go along with some of the things you guys talk about on your show.
I don't know. This one took me back.
Okay. So the first autopsy that he performs in the book is a female in her 20s, was riding in a fancy sports car with her husband. She's wearing super, super tight, like skin tight leather pants, and she passes gas quite loudly and quite long. And she starts laughing, and her husband's like, "Oh, that's so disgusting." And she says, "You shouldn't have fed me beans." And then all of a sudden, she stops breathing and can't get any air, and basically dies right there next to him. And so this is what the cops have when they bring her to his to the morgue. So yeah, you really want me to go into this?
I do. I want you to
Yes,
tell us what killed this young lady.
So is her boyfriend or husband just like, she just ripped ass and then keeled over? I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. And the cops are like laughing because they think it's funny, and Dr. Graves does not think it's funny because death is not funny to him. It's very serious, and so he doesn't like the cops making fun of it. But so he actually quite quickly, when he sees the leather pants, has an idea of what caused her death, and I won't go through the whole autopsy process, but in the book I do sort of step by step, just so you can
Because you're a
see
nurse.
what book is on, because I'm a nurse and I think it's cool. But basically, wearing the tight pants, and they were leather pants, there was nowhere for the gas to go other than the path of least resistance.
Yes, back where it came
which
from.
would be not back where it came from.
That's even worse.
A little in front of that.
Yeah.
Into her vaginal opening, and it caused what is called an air embolus, a vaginal air embolus.
What? is that a real thing?
That's exactly what I said.
That is a real thing. I don't know that one has ever been caused by what I imagined
farting.
for this book, but it is a real thing, and it can really happen, and it can really kill women.
Wow. So your experience as a nurse plays a lot into the details of your writing, right?
Yeah, it does. I put some pretty realistic gross scenes in my book.
That's awesome.
I guess.
Though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. But anyway, that was the idea that started this all out, and the one that Steve, my husband, and Jason both said, "You can't write that," and I did.
Like, watch me.
I'm just impressed. I mean, that was like 3 years ago, I think, and now it's a book.
Yep.
That's excellent.
When does it come out? What's the date?
March 22nd. So
March
about
22nd.
a month.
So watch for Dr. Graves, the Bar Killer, right?
The Bar Killer. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. And just on Amazon, and is that where we can get it?
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Amazon is the place.
Well,
Probably Barnes and Noble. I don't know if you want a paperback.
I'll have to review it. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've got some early reviews out, and people really like it. So
Good.
far.
That's awesome.
But of course, I'm targeting the crime thriller people that like those kinds of books. So.
Well, that's what you do. You find your audience. So.
Right.
So you hear that, everybody? All 12 of our listeners, go out and buy that book.
If each one of them buys 10,000 copies,
I know, that would be so
you'll
great.
be set.
That could be like a bestseller.
That sounds awesome.
That's how dedicated our
actually,
listeners are.
That's right. It should actually be up on pre-order this week or next week, pretty soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Nice.
I'm excited. So
Wish I had talent.
you do have talent. You're also
You
an author.
totally have talent.
Well, let's see. What book was that you wrote with
Thomas
me?
Destiny.
Yeah, I remember that.
What was that based on again?
Yeah, well, then we're not going to go into that. So. No, I'm proud of our movie we made
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Wow.
It's been a while.
And then the original, which was when we were 17. So
Yeah.
they'll still exist. I have them.
Blackmail.
Right. Well, do we have any listener mail tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a break and
All
we
right.
can come back and do our listener mail.
All right.
That was my washer.
Hope so, after that story Holly told.
It's now time for listener mail.
All right. I didn't get any this week, so I apologize.
Neither did I.
So it looks like John's the only one who got one.
Yeah, and I got it right before I left. So we came like this close to not having any. So I don't know. Zach, you want to read it or?
I think Zach should read it.
All right.
All right. If you could do a cowboy voice, I think it'll kind of fit it.
I can't do it.
Or like a hick
Yeah, you can.
redneck voice.
Howdy.
did that.
Cletus voice works too.
You read Crazy Ass Horses. Just do Porter Rockwell.
Howdy. I'll be blunt. Y'all are officially stuck in my craw. My name is Jed Walker, 3-term mayor of Spudsville, Idaho, and I heard what Jason, if that is his real name,
It is.
said about our great territory or state, whichever one Idaho is. I'd have responded sooner if we had internet in these here parts. Anyway, as our proud town's longest running mayor since Dolly the Mule served 4 terms back when we first got electricity in the 1980s, it's my right, nay, my responsibility to defend our honor against such I can't say it. Scurrilous attacks. You think you're so high and mighty down there just because you know all the letters of the alphabet? Or because you walk your kids to school to be an involved parent rather than because you're in the same grade? And yeah, so what if my 8-year-old son did help me spell out the big words in this fancy letter that he calls an email? Enough talk. Jason, just know that you're no longer welcome here in the Gem State. I have my finest militiamen lined up at the border with the most up-to-date ball and powder muzzle loaders just in case you dare show your ruggedly handsome, non-inbred Utah face again. Next time you eat an Idaho potato, I hope you choke. Mayor Jed Walker.
Well, I'm very sorry, Your Honor.
Wow.
I still hate your state, and I don't get my potatoes from Idaho. So,
Are you going back to Idaho anytime soon?
Well, not
I
now.
hope not.
Okay, because he sounds serious.
His ball and powder probably can't penetrate my aluminum car. So, aluminum fiberglass car.
I don't know. Those things shoot pretty hard.
Yeah, like from 10 feet away. I don't think they're known for their accuracy.
Yeah, probably not.
Do you like Idaho, Holly?
I do actually. I like parts of Idaho.
It's okay. John likes Idaho. So.
Yeah, I like
Yeah, it's
Idaho.
fine. It's, Utah Junior.
Northern Idaho's gorgeous, so
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've not been to Northern
Yeah.
Idaho.
It's by Washington, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even the Wyoming-Idaho border up there near the Tetons is quite pretty too.
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we've recently acquired a puppy from Idaho, and we had to go to like this super small town that was really small.
Spudsville?
No, it wasn't Spudsville, but it was in the middle of nowhere. Like, yeah. So I just don't. I liked Lava Ha. That was cool, I guess.
Yeah, Lava Hot Springs.
Can't we
is
just
pretty
like
great.
annex that part of Idaho, like all the nice parts?
Just
and then-
claim it as part of Utah.
Yeah.
Why not?
This is part of Utah now. We want this.
It's like a page out of Vladimir Putin's book. So
Their militiamen can't stop us.
they might be able to, actually. All right. Well, I got another text about selling my house.
Oh, nice. I actually didn't get any this week.
It's like a weekly thing now.
It is.
And I kind of, it's not super exciting, but I thought it was funny. So I'm going to share it with everybody. So I got this text from Mary, I guess is her name. It says, "Hey, Jason, just checking if you'd like a deal for your home. I am more than happy to give you a free market assessment. Mary, happy face." I said, "Hi, Mary, and what kind of deal are we talking, blood or soul?" And she's like, "I'm hoping to speak with you about our intent to buy your house at my address. May I ask if you have any intention to hear a proposal?" I said, "Sorry, I'm married." She says, "My bad. May I ask if you know the proprietor of my house, or do you have other houses you'd want to put on the market?" I said, "That's my house, but I thought you were proposing to me. I just wanted you to know I am unavailable." At that point, Mary ceased communications.
What?
How boring.
I know.
I think she was proposing. She's like, fine, I'll find
I
someone
think
else.
I know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to act normal for the first 4 texts, and I'm just going to start gradually getting weirder and weirder. So I'm going to string them along. So I'm not going to hit them up front with the weirdness. I'm going to try and play it cool, and then I'm going to totally,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's my next time. But-
Yeah, I feel like I overdid it with my response to somebody too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I had this woman named Selena that said, "Jack, long time no see. How are you doing? I am Selena." Because that's how we talk. And I said, "Holy hell, I haven't seen you since your funeral." She never responded. So
Because she's dead.
Yeah, well,
The first text came from beyond the grave.
so yeah, I gotta string them along a little bit with some normalcy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that new 5G is amazing, right?
That's right.
it goes beyond the veil.
Yeah.
That's how much coverage you have.
No wonder the airplanes are afraid of it.
All right, so we got a little bit of time here, so we're going to play Would You Rather, and Holly, you get to be the person who answers the questions.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I don't know if we want to
All
ask
right.
some of the type we've asked
Don't
in
worry.
the past,
don't
though.
worry. I've vetted these questions. They're HR approved.
All right.
Okay.
Mm,
All right.
Jason, I know what your HR approval is. So.
Actually, these are pretty anodyne. I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I'm sure you'll have great, funny answers. So I'll just ask all 3 of you, okay?
All right.
So number 1, would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? What?
Wait, what? Past?
No,
Was one of those supposed to be past?
It says future for both. I'm thinking they meant past. So we're gonna say past. 10 minutes into the future or 150 years in the past.
I'd say the past, because what good is 10 minutes going to do? If you're talking like 100
Yeah.
years in the future, yeah, that'd be cool. But
I'd take 10 minutes into the future.
I think,
Really?
I think you're smart.
Because
Yeah.
if I'm going to rob a bank, I need to know how the next 10 minutes are going to go.
That's awesome. That's actually kind of a
Yeah,
cool
that's true.
superpower.
Yeah.
That's true. If you have nefarious ideas, then that's probably true.
Now,
I'd like
that's
to
a
see
book
the past, though.
one of you authors should write.
Yeah, I
Is-
like it.
is there any
Yeah.
like non-criminal or devious ways that applications that would be beneficial?
You
though?
could save people, I guess.
I
I
guess.
think what's Jack Bauer? Who's the guy who's screaming all the time? Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jack
Jack
Bauer.
Bauer.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Think of him. If he's like a super spy and he had that ability, that would
Okay,
be
yeah, I
helpful,
can see
right?
that.
So, but what about you,
Yeah, I
Holly?
guess that would come handy. I would like to see into the past. I think that'd be cool.
Awesome.
Like I said, I'm into history. I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I can see that 10 minutes in the future being helpful for, like, as an ER nurse, that might be helpful. To know
Yeah.
what's coming through
Yeah.
the door, and yeah.
Cool. All right. Would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear? So when you hear a
Sing
song,
along.
sing along.
Sing, yeah.
Sing along.
You guys do
Yeah,
that anyway,
I-
probably.
I'm-
Yeah. Because
I'm
singing,
too
you
old
can
and decrepit to dance. So.
singing you can just kind of hum or mumble, and no one can really hear how bad your voice is.
Right? Yeah.
If you're dancing, people see you,
Yeah.
Right.
and they might record
Yeah,
you.
good point. Good point.
All right. Good answers. Good answers. All right. Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Oh, come on. Unlimited power. It's because then you'll have the respect anyways. Fear, respect, potato, right?
I don't know. Is it unlimited power like a genie? Like itty bitty living spaces? Or
I'm thinking it's probably like more earthbound, kind of like money and power, political prestige, things like that.
yeah, I don't know. I prefer respect, I think.
What about you, Zach?
Same thing.
I think
Respect.
I think having respect is powerful.
That's
in its own
That's true.
way.
That's a good answer.
Right?
that's a good idea.
I'm too corruptible. If I had unlimited power, I'd turn evil.
We'd all be
I can't.
ants to you, and
Yeah.
you're the magnifying
Right?
glass.
Yeah.
That's why Dumbledore never took the Minister of Magic position, because he had
See?
too much power, right?
Yeah, there you go.
He knew himself.
He was more powerful than the Minister of Magic anyway, though.
He
So.
totally was. Yeah.
All right. So, would you rather swim in a pool full of Nutella or a pool full of maple syrup?
Maple syrup.
I think maple syrup would kill you.
How would Nutella not kill you? That's not even like a
Softer.
liquid.
That's what I'm saying.
You'd be like stuck in it. You
It's
couldn't
like
even
mud.
go anywhere.
You'd be stuck in syrup.
Yeah, but it's more viscous. Is that the word?
So basically, it comes down to which one would you rather drown
Exactly.
in? Okay.
I like
I'll
the
drown
taste.
in Nutella.
I think I like maple syrup a little more than Nutella. So
Do you?
yeah.
Oh.
Nutella's good, but maple syrup is really good.
You said that kind
Really
of
good.
sexually. I don't want to know, dude.
I thought we weren't making this sexual. What's going on here?
Maple syrup.
What about you, Holly? What would you rather drown in?
Probably Nutella. It's, I like the taste a little bit better.
Yep, same here.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Let's see. Would you rather cuddle a koala or pal around with a panda?
Oh, panda.
Oh, panda.
Definitely
Yeah,
panda.
definitely panda.
They're dangerous.
Koalas
we've
are
talked
diseased.
We've talked about koalas before. Remember?
Yeah,
Fecal pap,
yeah,
and
I
how most of them
know.
have chlamydia. And
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, but both koalas and pandas are kind of stoned all the time, so I think either of them would be
That's true.
yeah, pandas
Would
just
be
lay
safe.
around everywhere.
right. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
kind
Just
of
go
like
lay on
stoned
one
and
and-
whatever. Yeah.
But they can chew your leg off, apparently, remember? Did you-
Pandas?
Yeah.
Pandas? Yeah. Oh, they could.
I mean, they are bears. I'm sure they could kill you if they
No.
wanted to.
Actually, they're not bears.
They are.
Oh,
Are
dear.
Pandas
I
actually
thought they
are.
weren't.
They weren't.
Oh.
They were classified as something else when I was a kid. I remember reading books about them.
This is like a Pluto thing.
So
They
it's like
thought they
Pluto,
thought they
yeah.
were they thought they were closer related to like raccoons, but then like new science in like the 90s or 2000s said that yeah, they actually are bears after all.
Ah, good to know.
Koalas
Good to
though, of
know.
course, are not bears, even though
Are
they're
not bears.
called
They're
koala
marsupials,
bears.
yeah.
Yes.
Right. Right.
But I mean, the
Okay,
science of
that makes
pandas,
sense.
just look at them; they look like bears. So it doesn't surprise
They
me
do.
that they actually are bears.
All right.
I don't know. I would like either one because they're both adorable. But the chlamydia does kind of turn me off.
Little bit, yeah. I don't know how many people that'd be a turn on for.
Jason.
There's like, ooh, chlamydia. I'm going with the koala.
Gross.
Koala media.
Koala media. Nice. It's been coined. All right, last one, I promise. Would you rather always have BO and not know it, or always smell BO on everyone else?
Oh.
I guess smell on everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't want people to smell on me.
You'd go nose blind after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you'd
would.
stop noticing.
You know, you can use the old ER nurse trick and just put Vicks under your nose.
Hey,
That's a good trick.
that's a good one.
You know, so you can't. That's all you can smell. But yeah, I would rather smell other people's BO than have it myself.
Be the BO-er.
I'd
Yeah,
rather not be.
yeah.
I'd rather be the only one that's not gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Me too.
Why are you wearing that Vicks? Because y'all stink.
Yeah.
I mean, think of how popular you'd be if you were the only one that didn't stink.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just you would. It's like a magic
I
trick.
know, but
Don't mess with the science.
Okay, wait. Magic or science? Stick to one.
Hey, I watched Spider-Man again over the weekend. They're the same
It
damn
can be
thing.
both.
Yeah, that's true.
There's science behind magic.
It's true.
That's deep. All right. Okay.
All right.
Should we move on?
I guess we shall. And now it's time for show and tell.
We have a cool little switchboard, Holly.
No, that you're ruining the illusion. Zach was actually playing the piano for us.
Yeah,
right
dude.
here in the studio.
I'm sorry.
I've been to Jason's house. I know there's not a piano there. Come on.
All right, who wants to go first? And Holly, did you actually get some weird news you wanted to share with us this time?
I did.
We should
I'm prepared.
Ladies first, then. Why don't you go ahead
Yeah.
and take it?
All right. Okay. So I'm going to make a confession. I haven't listened to like the last 2 or 3 of your podcasts. So if I repeat, I know.
Wow.
Well, we've been busy. We've been traveling and such.
Zach's actually
so
crying.
Mm.
if I repeat something, then just tell me to stop. So
No, we repeat each other all the time.
Yeah.
that's true.
We'll just let you go. Keep going.
So I know you guys go with the Florida man a lot and the weird animal thing.
Mhm.
So I went with the creepiest things little kids have ever said.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
So right, and I pulled this from a couple of different places, mostly from Ranker. Jessica Loshy was the author of this one, but not all of those came from there. Anyway, so when my son was about 4 or 5, we were in the toilet before his bedtime, and he was brushing his teeth, and he dropped his toothbrush, and I picked it up for him, and when my eyes met his, he just stared at me and said, "Dad, why does that man have a knife?" and pointed behind me. Quickest 180 I've ever done.
Oh my gosh.
That is scary.
Yeah. Kids are weird. This one said, my grandma died because of cancer in February 2012. My whole family was up at my grandparents' house to comfort each other. The night before her prayer service, my 4-year-old cousin told my heartbroken grandpa, "Good night, Grandpa. Don't be so sad. You'll see Grandma tomorrow." We all
Aw.
heard and assumed she meant at the prayer service, but he died the next morning.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Did this kid predict it or did this kid make it happen? The kid's in his room with a pillow, like in the middle of the night.
Right?
We have
It's
questions.
a good question. Good question.
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
You could probably see it in his eyes.
All children are
Okay.
murderers.
That's the moral of that one.
Murderers at heart.
Yep.
Let's see. When my daughter was around 4 or 5, we lived in a house that had been converted into 3 separate apartments. We lived in the basement portion. Because of the way they converted the house, there was a small recessed area under one of the stairways that formed a small closet storage space in her room. One night while she was getting ready for bed, I overheard her talking to someone in her room. I poked my head in and asked if she was calling for me. Her words, "No, I was talking to the little boy who lives in my closet." He's dead.
He's dead.
So matter of factly.
Like it's no big
Yeah.
deal.
He's dead. I see dead people. Let's see. A good friend of mine and her husband bought what is considered an old house around here in Western Canada, so it's not that old. They were renovating the basement one day while I was visiting. I was down there alone with their son, who was barely 2 at the time and could not yet speak in full sentences. He took my hand and led me over to a brick chimney-like thing with a rusty metal door on it. He looked up and said, "That's where the dead babies go."
Oh.
Ew.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. This one, the mom says, "Go back to sleep. There isn't anything under your bed." And the kid said, "He's behind you now." I love this one. As a Supernatural fan, I can get into this one. My son's best friend, age 5, said, "I found Satan while I was digging in the sandbox. Now he lives inside me."
It's like The Exorcist.
Is his name Damien? Oh, man.
Let's see. This one is, the parent asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" The child said, a stranger with a knife.
Aw, Jason as a kid.
Yeah,
Right?
It's a good thing I'm fat. Can't, just don't have the energy to be a serial killer. It's too much work.
Right.
If somebody sees you with a knife, they're like, oh no, he's going to spread frosting.
Wrong kind of knife, Jason. Wrong
Just gonna cut a cake. Run.
I'm laughing, but I'm crying on the inside.
Aw, I'm sorry.
I'll have you know I went back to the gym this week.
Well, good on ya.
Yeah, you're not due for another year, right?
Right, exactly.
Once a year is enough.
Yeah, that's what most people do with their New Year's resolution, right?
That's right. Mine's a Valentine's Day resolution.
Yeah.
Well, it took a while. So, my 3-year-old son generally has a happy-go-lucky attitude, so this is pretty odd. Sometimes when he's cuddling with his mommy, he'll say very seriously, Mom, I promise I won't ever chew on your bones.
Aw, thanks, hon.
When I kill you and eat you,
I'm not
I'll
going
stop before I hit the bone.
I'm not
okay?
going to take the marrow out.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm just going to chew on the meat part.
He loves his mom.
Just the muscles.
My son asked if we were going to take away his face the other day.
Which son?
Kyle, he'd been acting up at school a couple times, and so we told him we took away his tablet. We were taking away his desserts, and we said, if you keep doing this, we're going to keep taking stuff away. And he all freaked out, and he's like, you mean like my face? So I'll be have a skull face? So I had to reassure him, okay, no, we're not going to take your skin. We'll find something else. I should have just gone with it.
I was just going to say.
And said, yes, son, skin is a privilege, not a right.
His teachers are like, oh, he's been the best kid this week.
Yeah, can you share with us how you got him to act so well? Oh, that's funny.
Just promise,
so
to take a kid's face off, and they will do whatever you say.
Exactly.
He has to walk around like Skeletor the rest of his life, and that's a valid deterrent.
Like the guy in Hannibal Lecter, one of the Hannibal Lecter books.
Oh,
did any of you guys read that?
I haven't read the books.
I saw the movies.
So he gets the guy high on something and then makes him cut off chunks of his face and feed it to his pigs or something.
Oh, wow.
How delightful.
Yeah, and he lived through it. So basically, he was a Skeletor face.
Asked you, Spider-Man. Oh, not Spider-Man. He-Man. I don't know what just happened. Just ignore me.
There's probably a crossover.
It made sense to me.
Comic somewhere in there.
Oh, perfect. All right, want me to keep going?
Yeah, we could do a couple more.
Okay. Let's see. A friend of mine's child told him, Daddy, I love you so much that I want to cut your head off and carry it around so I can see your face whenever I want.
Oh, how sweet.
Isn't that sweet?
I think the idea behind that, I think the kid meant well. I'll put it that way. His heart was in the right place.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Even though he's going to grow up to be a serial killer, that's okay. And then I have to say this one. My 3-year-old daughter stood next to her newborn brother and looked at him for a while, then turned around and looked at me and said, Daddy, it's a monster. We should bury it.
Nice.
That's funny. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, then kind of to get off the creepy parts, I just pulled up a few of the craziest things kids say that aren't necessarily creepy.
Awesome.
Want me to read a couple of those?
Yeah, let's do it.
So several of these come from James Breakwell, the Exploding Unicorn. I don't know if any of you follow him on Facebook or Twitter.
That sounds dangerous.
He's hilarious. And almost all of his posts are about his daughters. He's got 4 daughters, I think. Anyway, he's hilarious. So this, the first 3 at least are from him. His 4-year-old said, can we get a kitten? And he said, I'm allergic. We can't be in the same house. And the 4-year-old said, we could sleep outside. You could sleep outside. And then let's see. Then he says, someday you'll have fillings for boys. And the 6-year-old says, I already have fillings for them. And he says, really? And the 6-year-old says, they make me mad.
Well, that's exactly what he was talking about. It's
Yeah.
going to stay the same.
Anger is a feeling.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change as you get older.
No.
And then this one, his 6-year-old said, "Why do bad guys always try to take over?" And he said, "They want to be in charge and make all the rules." And the 6-year-old said, "Why don't they become moms?" Yeah, you go, 6-year-old.
Hey.
Right. Okay, one more. Sorry, just one more. I
You're
forgot
good.
about
You're
this
good.
one. So this one is a 7-year-old says, "Mom, what's a humanitarian?" And the 6-year-old brother says, "I got this, Ma. It's like a vegetarian, but they eat humans."
It's another word for a cannibal.
That's awesome. I'm going to start using that. No, I'm sorry. I'm humanitarian.
I only eat humans.
I only eat
I only eat humans.
human flesh. Man flesh.
Yep.
Reminds me
Long pork.
years back, my former stepdaughter, when she came up to me once, she's like, "Hey, have you ever heard of the Methodist Church?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." It's like, "Why?" And she goes, "I think it's funny they have a church just for people who use meth." And like for years after that, when I drive by a Methodist church, I just look at Methodist.
So did you correct her, or did you just like let it slide?
No, I corrected her, but and it might have been a joke. I don't know, but I thought that was funny.
I just touched somebody's foot. I think it
Oh,
was
mine.
yours, John.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'll touch your foot too.
Whatever.
We just had a bonding experience over the weekend. We did a photo shoot for this podcast, and pictures will be forthcoming on the Facebook page. But
Yeah, I got a sneak peek. They are pretty classic. I'm impressed.
Classy is what you mean.
Holly liked
Classy.
the pillow fight one the best.
That was one of my favorite ones as well.
So
I did have nightmares last night. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I've not felt this close to you guys, and I've been questioning things since. So
We'll have to talk about it off the air. I don't think your Google Fiber guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
felt
you didn't mention the best part.
all right, you tell the story.
Well, Jason and I look like we had just been kicked out of the Pride Parade. I was in a llama costume with like rainbow colors on like the tassels on the ears and the design
a
on
big
my
rainbow
chest.
heart on the chest.
It did have a rainbow
You
heart.
were like queer Superman.
It was like a Care Bear, a llama Care Bear, pretty much.
Queer bear.
And then Jason had a poncho and a sombrero with rainbow colors.
Yeah.
And then Zach was a full-out bear. He was in a bear costume.
Like a teddy bear.
And then the Google Fiber guy
Bear
came.
onesie.
While we're all dressed like this in the living room, the Google Fiber guy came to set up Jason's service.
Early. He came early.
And so Zach answered the door as a bear. And then like when he came the second time, I answered the door as the llama. And this guy just took it in stride, like, "Hey, you guys do you."
He told us he wasn't going to judge.
It's like, "I'm not judging you."
Well, the best part is he kept coming in and out of the house while we were doing the photo shoot, and the photo shoot was done in my bedroom on my bed. And so there's
And the door was open. He walks by like when we're having a pillow fight, dressed as furries, basically.
Oh, that poor man.
So he had a great
therapy.
I got faster internet and he got a great story to tell. So
So I installed this internet with a group of furries today. We're having a pillow fight in the bedroom while I was setting it up.
A group of poor furries because they were wearing onesies. Not
Yeah.
Right.
that's true. That's very true. Furry costumes I hear are like super expensive.
You hear.
I imagine, yeah.
I don't know. That's why.
To cultivate your true fursona. Yeah.
I never looked into
it
Why
costs
did
a
you
lot.
where did you hear the term fursona?
You're both digging graves right now. I didn't know any of this, and now I do.
All right, I'm gonna go next just to move things along, and I'm not a furry, so I'm gonna take it back to the
Furry.
the 90s. And these are it says 110 Yo Mama jokes worthy of Shakespeare's quill.
Nice.
And it comes to us from Board Panda, and it's Simonis Lucosis and Justice these guys.
My sons have been telling each other Yo Mama jokes. I don't know if they
Get the
grasp
concept.
the connection between that, but
All right, so this is just a nostalgic kind of thing. We used to do this when we were in elementary school and junior high. So the first one is, your mama's so stupid. When they said it was chilly outside, she grabbed a bowl. Your mama's so dumb, she trips over the wireless internet. This one I remember. It says, your mama's so fat, when God said, let there be light, he asked her to move out of the way. Aww.
Oh.
That's a fat mama. It says, this one's awesome. Your mama's so fat, Thanos had to clap.
I mean, that's obviously not a 90s
No, it's not a 90s one, but that's
No.
It says, your mama's so old, she was a waitress at the Last Supper. Let's see. Your mama's so old, she walked out of a museum and the alarm went off. Your mama's so fat, she takes selfies in panoramic mode. Let's see. Your mama's so poor, the ducks throw bread at her. I'm going to end on this one. Your mama's so ugly, even Hello Kitty said goodbye. All right, anyway, there you go.
Nice.
Nice.
Little mama jokes.
Yo mama jokes. Those were not addressed to anybody specific, mama, just so you know. Those are just in general.
I'm sure everyone who's listening, your mamas are wonderful and beautiful. And
your mama's
smart.
so wonderful that they tell everybody about this podcast.
Yes.
My mother's never listened to a single episode. It's probably for the best.
Probably.
All right, who's up next?
I think I am. And I went to Pinterest for this one.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do you mean you get you some tampons?
Why? I have a Pinterest. Shut up. All right. Hilarious headlines. So.
I also have a Pinterest. So.
All right. Yeah, I thought so.
Huh. And I do not.
Oh,
Let's see if you can find some new ones.
One female.
Let's see how many of those we haven't done.
That's
So
what
I've done headlines like 2 or 3 times.
I know. That's what I'm wondering. But
There's probably some in there.
we'll see.
Hey, it's repetition. Is
Exactly.
fun.
They're funny anyway, so I don't care.
Fire crews called after smoke seen in sky turned out to be cloud.
Nice.
Total lunar eclipse will be broadcast live on Northwoods Public Radio.
It defeats the purpose of
Yeah.
it.
This is what an eclipse sounds like.
It's like static for an hour.
Rain, biggest factor in flooding. Body in duffel bag, may be homicide.
They could have crawled in there themselves.
That's
right?
true. That's
You don't
true.
know, right?
Calculate the exact amount of time it takes after you cut your carotid just to...
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah, right?
What? Psychics predict world didn't end yesterday.
So they can see 10 minutes in the past.
Yeah. Very
Right,
good at
right.
it. 17 remain dead in morgue shooting spree.
I love how they put remain dead.
This is on an actual newspaper. I mean, I'm looking at a picture of a newspaper and it says that. That's amazing.
Like, is someone walking through a morgue shooting corpses?
I guess. I don't know.
Or are they in the morgue because of a shooting spree?
Did they think they would come back to life if they were shot?
That's true.
I don't know.
Maybe some of those creepy kids that Holly talked about grew up. And,
Yeah, and they had to make sure to put down the zombie apocalypse before it happened.
Right.
yep.
Yeah.
U.S. Oh, sorry. U.S.
go ahead.
student who electrocuted his nipples sues teacher for not warning him it was dangerous.
I went to school with some boys that were that dumb.
I think we all did. I think I might have been one of them. Northfield plans to plan strategic plan.
I like that one.
There's a headline.
Policeman loses nose in circumcision ceremony.
What?
I wish I had more of that story.
His face was way too close to the action on that one.
I don't think you understand where the circumcision is supposed to take place.
There is a small part of it that says policeman had his nose bitten off. It's like right near the bottom, but it doesn't. There's not enough of it to tell you guys what happened.
Maybe the Moyle was just blind.
Yeah. Jellyfish apocalypse not coming.
Well, that's a relief.
It kind of makes me sad, actually. I would welcome any kind of apocalypse at this point.
Besides the nuclear one.
Right. That one's bad.
Death may ease tension. Hospital resorts to hiring doctors.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's a good one. It's like, who are they hiring before?
Right.
How dare they?
Witch doctors.
Overweight kids may not be eating enough, study says.
Really?
Cops arrest white woman on warrant for black man.
That was a
Did you do that one?
No, I didn't do that one, but that's like erroneous.
Are they also doing circumcisions? Because it sounds like they have a problem with their eyesight.
Stabbing disrupts class for anger management.
I did
Fire
touch a
that
foot.
teacher.
Planes forced to land at airports. Aw.
What, instead of the sea?
Oh, sad news.
Much more fun to land on the freeway. What?
Damn road sign keeps disappearing.
DAM.
DAM. Quintuplets born 15 months early.
Wait.
That's over a year and a half.
Yeah, I think they meant 15 weeks.
Were they elephant quintuplets?
Right. All right, last couple. Worker suffers leg pain after crane drops 800-pound ball on his head. His head's fine. His leg hurts.
Oh, I'm going to guess his head is not fine.
The economy has recovered, except where it hasn't. All right, last one. CCA upholds butt search for crack.
Nice.
Maybe they should go see those doctors. They can help them find it.
Oh, okay, wait, one more. This is for tomorrow. Thursday is canceled.
Well, as long as we get right to Friday, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Good job.
That was great.
Yeah, you found some new ones too.
Yeah.
Headlines are always fun, so I've looked them up a few times, and yeah, I was pleasantly surprised you found some good ones. That was funny that we hadn't done. I mean,
John says condescendingly.
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, like,
wow, Zach, you.
I mean, like, I have looked for these several times.
It's like we've been dragging you through this podcast for 40 episodes now, and you finally came up with something.
No, I mean, I have looked for these. I love headlines. I thought I'd found all the good ones.
We're just giving you crap.
I'm
man.
happy that. Pleasantly
Zach,
happy
did he
that
pat
you
you on
found
the
some
head when
new
he said
good
that?
ones I was not able to find.
He did pat me on the head, and he can't prove that he didn't.
That's what I pictured in my mind.
I am commending you for finding some that I could not find. All right? I thought I'd done all the good ones.
It's fun when you get worked up. That's funny.
John's like, I hate this stupid podcast. I believe it.
So anyway, I just have a few quick news stories.
You can say it that are better than mine.
No, I'm sure they're not better than yours. This is from November 2nd, 2011, something called the Delco Times.
That makes me think of Del Taco.
Right?
Teen robbed at gunpoint of meatball sandwich. This is from Yeadon, Pennsylvania. Armed robbers made off with a 13-year-old victim's $5.50 meatball sandwich Saturday evening.
Bastards!
But left behind his cell phone, which the teen then promptly used to call the police.
They were hungry.
One of the men, later identified as Rashawn Amir Mallory, 21, was brandishing a black revolver. "Whatever you do, don't move," Mallory allegedly told the teen, according to probable cause affidavit. A second man, who was identified as Barnett, according to police, searched through the teen's pockets. "If you do anything, I'll cap you," the affidavit quotes Mallory as threatening the teen. When the suspects realized the teen had nothing of value, police said Mallory grabbed the victim's sandwich. Mallory and Barnett then ran back to the awaiting Ford, which was last seen fleeing south on Bonsall.
That's a great thing to go to prison for.
For real.
$5 footlong.
I thought his name was going to be Luigi or something.
A 38 caliber revolver was found in the vehicle, along with the sandwich, which authorities said was still in the wrapping paper.
They didn't even eat it?
Apparently not. They took it just to be a dick. Both Mallory and Barnett were charged with robbery, theft, receiving stolen property, recklessly endangering another person, and simple assault. Wow.
Grand Theft Meatball.
The new video game.
That's right.
This one's from the National Post from June 22nd, 2010. British Columbia woman hits moose on way to visit sister hospitalized for hitting a moose. I don't know if this is a coincidence. It's like the moose have like a blood feud with this family.
Goes back like hundreds of years.
It's just one of the dangers of living in the Great White North.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
A month ago, Yvonne Studley, 49, was badly injured when she hit a moose with her vehicle. So last Friday, her sister decided to visit her in Vancouver General Hospital. But sister Connie Everett, 51, also hit a moose and ended up in the hospital.
I hope they're like next to each other.
Shaking
They've got
her
a moose
fist.
ward.
Here's your flowers.
That is a hit. That is not a coincidence.
I'd like it to be the same moose.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know it probably died, but
Yeah. But it's probably the family of the first moose.
I don't know. Some of those moose are units, man. They're big.
They're huge.
Moose are huge. And they let you get way too close to them. If you've ever seen someone you're hiking or something, it is unnerving.
Is it?
I've seen moose a few times, and one of them was like 20 feet away. I walked around a corner, and it's like right there, and you don't realize how big they are until you see them close. They are massive.
They are massive. My mom and I were hiking once in Wyoming and got between a mom moose and the baby moose.
Oh,
which is
no.
a very dangerous proposition, right? And my sweet little Heinz 57 dog saved us. Like, he took off barking at the mama moose, so she chased him instead of us.
Oh, wow.
but yeah, we
She
could
got
have
away.
been dead because she was huge. Yeah, my dog got away. He was smart.
Nice.
But yeah, that was scary.
I would certainly not want to hit one with my car.
No, definitely not.
So on the lighter side, here's one from Crosscut from February 12, 2016. Attention, the Public Octopus Sex Act has been canceled for fear of cannibalism.
That's a lot to unpack.
It says, it's nearly Valentine's Day, which means one thing. It's time to show a little love for one of our most enigmatic local creatures from the deep, the giant Pacific octopus. Yes, it's Octopus Week, only this time without the sex. It says, every February for the last decade, the Seattle Aquarium has hosted the celebration of cephalopods. And these 8-armed mollusks give us plenty to ooh and ah over. Shape-shifting abilities that let them squeeze their bulbous bodies through pencil-thin crevices. The ability to instantly change the color and pattern of their skin to blend into their environs. And a surprising cunning and intelligence. The highlight of Octopus Week, though, is usually the blind date in which the aquarists bring 2 of their octopuses together to mate in front of a large audience. Unfortunately, the octopus copulation has been canceled this year. not because it was deemed too sordid an affair, but because the staffers were worried that this year one of the animals might get eaten instead.
Isn't that why you canceled your last date, Zach?
Yes.
Apparently, what it says is like, it's a long article, but octopuses, they need to be in similar size, and their male octopus was too big for all the females they had, so they would most likely see them as food rather than a potential partner. There was an update from the following year, though, celebrating that the octopus, sex orgy thing is back on. The female octopuses were big enough the next year to have the public octopus sex show.
Thank goodness.
Good on the Seattle Aquarium.
Yeah, that's another planet.
Hours of family-friendly entertainment, that one.
That's Seattle for you.
This one's from Bro Bible, September 25th, 2014. Man cooking up ramen in a Speedo accidentally shoots himself in the nuts with 20 bottle rockets. It says the headline tells the story. I don't even know where to go from there. But he says, I guess this would help to explain who, what, why, when, and how this cartoon-like catastrophe happened. This is like the adult version of like a Looney Tunes cartoon or something. A man in Taiwan was playing video games in just his Speedo and decided to make some ramen noodles. A box of bottle rockets was a little too close to the open flames on the stove and started to fire. The rockets were aimed right at the dude's crotch. It was the sounds that alerted neighbors to call the fire department. When the emergency workers opened the door to Mr. Yi's room, they could vaguely see him through a cloud of smoke, wearing a Speedo, on all fours, legs spread, and yelling, "Ow!"
Well, yeah.
Mr. Yi later described his ordeal to the media, saying all the fireworks seemed to fly as if they somehow intended to hit him directly in his banana hammock. His only defense was to flail his feet wildly in a desperate attempt to block one or two. The man was treated and released from hospital with only minor bruises and burns to his crotch. Unfortunately, the ramen was ruined.
Is this in Japan? I didn't catch that.
It said Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay.
And lastly, any collection of news stories has to end with Florida Man.
Yes.
Yay! This is from the Toronto Sun from October 16, 2014. Florida man caught having sex with toy horse in the bedding section of Walmart.
Oh, man.
A man was arrested for allegedly having sex with a stuffed horse in a Florida Walmart.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
You combine like people of Walmart with Florida Man, it's pretty much inevitable.
It's the ultimate crossover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
According to a police report obtained by the Smoking Gun, employees at the Brooksville Walmart outside Tampa saw Sean Johnson, 19, grab a stuffed red horse from a clearance shelf and take it to the bedding department. What happened next was caught on security cameras, police said. The suspect allegedly proceeded to, quote, hump the stuffed horse to completion, utilizing short, fast movements. They had to explain that last part. He then placed the used toy onto a comforter set, contaminating that property also, cops alleged. He fled the store, but cops arrested him across the street. In a statement, Johnson admitted, "Yeah, I did unmentionables to a stuffed animal." All right. He's charged with indecent exposure and criminal mischief.
Criminal mischief makes it sound like fun, but it's not fun.
It was for him, I'm sure.
He should be like charged with stuffed animal rape or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Don't let him in a Build-A-Bear.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh! Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for being on, Holly.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Make sure you guys check out her book, The Bar Killer, and that comes out March 23rd. You said, or 22nd?
22nd.
22nd. So look for that on
22nd,
Amazon. The Bar Killer. Thank you, Holly. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Holly.
Yes, thank you, Holly, very much.
We'll talk to
thank you guys.
next time.
Sounds good.